The moment those tiny words escaped the little girl's lips, the entire restaurant seemed to fall silent. Coffee cups stopped halfway to waiting mouths. A waiter nearly dropped a tray. The successful CEO sitting across the table felt every heartbeat pounding louder than the music in the background. She had never seen the child before in her life, yet the little girl looked into her eyes with complete certainty and whispered, "You're my real mom." In that single breathtaking moment, years of carefully built walls around one woman's heart began to crack, while a father carrying invisible pain realized this ordinary blind date was about to become the most extraordinary day of their lives. Before we continue this unforgettable story, if you believe kindness deserves a second chance and that love can appear when we least expect it, please like this video, comment where you're watching from, share this story with someone who believes in hope, and subscribe to Ripple of Kindness for more emotional stories that stay with your heart. Every weekday, 36-year-old Serena Whitmore followed the exact same routine. She arrived at Whitmore Innovations before sunrise, reviewed financial reports while drinking black coffee, led meetings with confidence, and made decisions worth millions of dollars before most people finished breakfast. Newspapers called her the youngest female CEO in the city's technology industry. Business magazines admired her discipline, intelligence, and fearless leadership. Investors trusted her judgment. Employees respected her honesty. From the outside, Serena's life appeared flawless beneath the bright daytime skyline of the bustling city. But success had demanded sacrifices nobody ever wrote about. Serena had lost both parents in a traffic accident shortly after graduating from university. Determined never to depend on anyone again, she poured every emotion into building her company. Years passed. Promotions became headlines. Awards filled shelves. Yet her luxurious penthouse echoed with silence every evening. Birthdays passed unnoticed except for automated calendar reminders. Holidays became opportunities to answer emails. She convinced herself that loneliness was simply the price of greatness. Her assistant, Naomi, had watched this pattern for years. One sunny Friday afternoon, after another 14-hour workday, Naomi quietly placed a folded card on Serena's desk. It contained the information for a charity-organized blind date event supporting single parents rebuilding their lives. Serena laughed at first, insisting she had no time for romance. Naomi smiled gently and reminded her that sometimes the strongest people needed someone beside them more than they realized. For reasons Serena could not explain, she agreed. Across town lived 38-year-old Ethan Brooks, a devoted single father raising his 7-year-old daughter, Lily. Ethan had once dreamed of becoming an architect designing beautiful family homes. Instead, life changed overnight when his wife passed away after a sudden illness. Since then, every decision centered around Lily. He worked as a project designer during the day and spent evenings helping with homework, preparing meals, and reading bedtime stories. Though exhausted, he never complained. Lily remained the brightest part of every sunrise. The charity encouraged widowed and single parents to meet new people in a relaxed environment. Ethan hesitated before accepting. Dating felt impossible while carrying memories that still hurt. Yet Lily often asked why other children had two parents attending school events. She never blamed him, but her innocent questions lingered in his heart. Hoping simply to meet someone kind, Ethan registered. Saturday arrived beneath clear blue skies and warm sunshine. The charity organized the meeting at a beautiful botanical cafe surrounded by colorful flowers and peaceful walking paths. Families strolled happily through the gardens while children laughed near sparkling fountains. It was impossible to imagine anything sad happening in such a hopeful place. Serena arrived wearing a light blue summer dress instead of her usual business suit. Without boardrooms and presentations, she looked years younger. Ethan arrived a few minutes later wearing a simple white shirt and navy trousers. His calm smile immediately felt genuine rather than rehearsed. Their first conversation surprised both of them. There was no awkward silence. They spoke about childhood dreams, favorite books, community volunteer work, and the strange ways life redirected even the best plans. Neither tried to impress the other with wealth or accomplishments. Serena appreciated that Ethan barely reacted when she mentioned being a CEO. Ethan admired that Serena asked thoughtful questions about Lily instead of changing the subject. Hours slipped away almost unnoticed beneath the afternoon sun. Near lunchtime, Ethan apologized and explained that Lily's babysitter had experienced an emergency. The charity coordinator offered to bring Lily to the cafe so Ethan wouldn't need to leave early. Serena welcomed the idea. Secretly, she had always wondered what life with children might have felt like. Minutes later, a cheerful little girl with chestnut curls ran across the garden carrying a small stuffed rabbit. The moment Lily looked at Serena, she stopped completely. Her bright eyes widened with amazement. She slowly walked closer, studying Serena's face as though recognizing someone from a forgotten dream. Without fear or hesitation, Lily reached for Serena's hand and quietly whispered, "You're my real mom." Time seemed frozen. Serena felt tears threatening to appear without understanding why. Ethan gently apologized, explaining that Lily occasionally had vivid dreams after losing her mother and sometimes believed they carried hidden meanings. Yet Lily refused to let go of Serena's hand. She smiled with complete peace, as though something missing inside her world had suddenly returned. Instead of correcting the child, Serena knelt beside her. She simply smiled warmly and asked whether Lily enjoyed drawing. The little girl nodded enthusiastically and immediately began describing imaginary houses filled with flowers, sunshine, libraries, and rooms where nobody ever cried. Those innocent descriptions quietly touched Serena's heart. The three spent the afternoon exploring the gardens together. They fed ducks beside a peaceful lake, enjoyed ice cream beneath shaded trees, and laughed while Lily insisted every butterfly carried tiny wishes between people. For the first time in years, Serena forgot about business meetings, stock prices, and endless responsibilities. She simply enjoyed being present. After that unexpected day, Serena and Ethan remained in contact. What began as occasional coffee meetings slowly became weekend outings. Sometimes Serena joined them at museums or parks. Other weekends they volunteered together at the same charity that had introduced them. Lily always ran toward Serena with joyful excitement, calling her Miss Serena but smiling with the same warmth she had shown on the first day. Still, Serena struggled privately. She feared becoming emotionally attached to a family that wasn't truly hers. She worried Ethan deserved someone with parenting experience instead of a woman who had spent her entire adult life inside conference rooms. At night she questioned whether success had made her too independent to belong anywhere. Ethan carried different fears. He worried about asking Serena for more than friendship. He understood the demands of leading a major company. He feared Lily might become heartbroken if Serena eventually decided family life wasn't for her. Neither realized they shared the same uncertainty. One bright spring morning, Serena received devastating news. A global corporation offered to purchase Whitmore Innovations for an extraordinary amount, but only if she relocated overseas within 2 months to oversee the merger. Financially, it was the opportunity of a lifetime. Professionally, every mentor advised accepting immediately. That evening Serena visited the neighborhood playground where Ethan and Lily often spent time after school. Children laughed beneath colorful slides while parents chatted nearby. Serena watched Lily helping a younger child climb safely onto the swings instead of taking her own turn first. Without realizing it, Serena smiled through tears. Success had always been measured in numbers. Yet somehow this simple afternoon felt richer than every business award combined. Weeks passed as Serena wrestled with the impossible decision. Finally she invited Ethan and Lily for a daytime picnic at the same botanical garden where everything had begun. They sat beneath blooming trees while sunlight danced across the grass. Serena admitted she had received the overseas offer. Lily quietly looked down. Ethan congratulated her sincerely, even though sadness filled his eyes. After a long silence, Serena confessed something she had never admitted to anyone. She said that for years she believed achievement alone could fill every empty space inside a person's heart. Meeting Ethan and Lily had shown her another definition of success. One built on laughter, trust, shared meals, scraped knees, bedtime stories, and ordinary moments that slowly became extraordinary memories. She revealed she had already declined the offer. Not because she feared change. Because she finally knew where she wanted her future to grow. Ethan's eyes filled with grateful tears. He gently reached for Serena's hand. Neither needed dramatic speeches. Their smiles carried every unspoken feeling. Lily suddenly hugged Serena tightly and whispered once again, "I knew you were my real mom." This time nobody corrected her. Months later, Serena transformed part of her company's profits into a foundation supporting widowed parents returning to work. Ethan helped design affordable family housing projects funded by the foundation. Together they created opportunities for hundreds of struggling families who simply needed someone to believe in them. Their wedding took place on a beautiful sunny afternoon in the botanical garden where they first met. Employees, neighbors, volunteers, and families gathered beneath blooming flowers. There were no celebrities or extravagant performances. Only genuine happiness shared among people who had witnessed kindness changing lives. As Serena walked down the garden path, Lily scattered flower petals with the biggest smile imaginable. Every guest noticed the peaceful confidence shining on the little girl's face. She had found her family. So had Serena. Years later, whenever reporters asked Serena about the greatest decision of her career, they expected her to mention a business strategy or investment. Instead, she always smiled and spoke about accepting one blind date she almost canceled. Because sometimes the opportunity that changes your life isn't waiting inside a boardroom. Sometimes it's waiting across a simple cafe table beside a father carrying hope and a little girl brave enough to recognize love before the adults could. If this story touched your heart, please like this video, leave a heartfelt comment, share it with someone who believes in second chances, and subscribe to Ripple of Kindness so together we can spread more stories filled with hope, compassion, and love. Special request. Before you leave, comment with one word: kindness. If you believe love is created by the choices we make, not only by the past we carry. Because the greatest families are not always the ones we are born into. Sometimes they're the ones built through patience, compassion, courage, and the simple decision to open our hearts when life gives us one more beautiful chance.